morning, fellas, and welcome to the first episode of the mid-season review, which I'm sure most of you will dislike because you'd rather watch the games. But as I've mentioned on numerous occasions, we need to drag this out. There's not going to be football for some time now, perhaps even at all this season. So yeah, we're going to drag this out. We're going to have 7 episodes, each looking at 2 teams. And today we're going to start off with Cruise Control and Let's Get Messi. We'll try and keep this pretty quick, so definitely under 10 minutes, probably even shorter than that. And yeah, quickly look at season preview so we can see where these were predicted. Cruise Control were predicted 12th and Let's Get Messi 14th, but as you can see from the odds, them and the Dons were all pretty much much of a muchness. And so yes, it's not surprising to see them down there. Let's have a quick look at the teams and see perhaps what's going wrong. If we see in this overview, Matt Busby's in charge of Cruise Control with Joe Moutinho and Davinson Sanchez as club captain and club vice captain respectively. If you look at the best thing to look at is average rating, and to have 5 players over 7 is quite surprising for someone who's bottom of the league. So perhaps Cruise Control haven't been getting the results that maybe their performances have warranted. One thing to notice here, they've got Sterling, Hazard, Henry and Richarlison all playing pretty well, especially Hazard, who was his rest of the world pick. And that's kind of reflected in the fact that they do score some goals, but it's the defence that's the weak part. And Moutinho is absolutely smashing things. 7.37 rating. Really, really good. I think he's really rated on this game, and I think Tomo didn't pick him up till like, I don't know, 3rd, 4th, maybe in the 5th round. He's massively rated on this. I'm not sure whether he's playing more defensive or attacking for Tomo, but judging by everything else, he's probably playing more attacking. They've had a few injuries. They've had Sergio Aurier out for a while. Tomo's been injured for a few. Kasper Schmeichel, I think, either got sent off or he's definitely missed 3 games, which is obviously not ideal. Having said that, in the 10 games he has played, it's a 6.44 rating, so not great at all. And that kind of goes with the whole defensive side of things, which looks like this. It looks like Robertson, who actually is really good, but Lindelof, Sanchez, and that's not normally Mustafi, that's normally Aurier. But yeah, it's the defence that's weak. In terms of who's played a lot, Ndombele has surprisingly played almost all, in fact all the games, but started 12, 13. Who hasn't played as much as maybe we thought? Joelinton hasn't even started the game yet. Mustafi's only started 2. Dan James only started 4. Richarlison actually, maybe he's had an injury because he's played really well, and he actually is a really good player in this. Yeah, so he missed 3 weeks, but still, that should only be 3 games. And he's only played 8 of the 13, so I'm not sure what's happened there, but they could do with having him back the whole time because he is one of their key players. Other than that, let's have a quick look at their schedule, and you can see it's not been great at any point. However, perhaps they're starting to turn the corner. They've faced 3 really good teams in the last 3 weeks. Radon Zidane, I think, are like 6th, maybe 5th. Ladleid, who I think is 2nd or 3rd, and then obviously Astana, who are top, and they've taken 4 points. So perhaps this is a sign of things changing. I do think they definitely don't have the worst team in the league, in my opinion. So I don't think they'll finish bottom, but we'll see. So moving on to the team that I do think has the worst squad in the league is Let's Get Messi. Now they're managed by Jose Mourinho. Perhaps that's why they are currently slightly above expectations. Antoine Griezmann as captain, and Ben Mee, of all people, as vice captain. If we look at their team, and in terms of average rating, only 3 people above 7, and 2 of them barely. Antoine Griezmann is literally a one-man show at the moment, carrying this team to the lofty heights of 13th. But it's actually a really consistent team. So if you look at all the appearances, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that have started every single game, and a further 3 that have started 12, 13. Don't think you'll come across many teams who've got more consistent players than that. Normally that's a good sign, but clearly not in this case. Biggest concern probably Del Piero. I know he's out injured for ages, but he's only started 3. and made 8 sub appearances, and he's done absolutely nothing really. So that's probably the biggest concern. Otherwise, Adama Traore, who I think was quite a high draft pick, he hasn't even been injured, I don't think. He just had coronavirus for a couple of days, and that's it. And yet he's only started 4 games, so that's not ideal. Perhaps the formation doesn't suit him. Let's look at what tactics are being played. You'd think he'd be suited to where Willian is, but then maybe obviously if Willian is better than him, then he wouldn't get in ahead of him. But obviously the real weakness here is this defence here, Bertrand, me and Dunk, and even the idea that Simon Moore seems to be in goal ahead of Dean Henderson, who I don't even think is injured. I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one. But either way, the goalkeeper front isn't ideal, especially compared to some of the teams in the league. Average rating, anyone playing and just doing badly? Yeah, Dean Henderson down here started all the games, but 6.43. James Ward-Prowse isn't doing enough. Nor Tarkowski before he got injured. He's out for a week. I think that's about it. Let's have a quick look at the schedule. It started here. I mean, as expected, 14th and 13th, it doesn't look good. It looked like things were changing at this point, and you've noticed a very similar schedule to Tomo in that played Murder on Zidane, Aston and Adelaide in quick succession, and actually did really well against them. Beat Murder on Zidane, Jimenez with 2 goals, drew with Astown. They missed that Del Piero penalty in the 94th minute, if you remember. We watched that game, so could have been 3 wins on the bounce against 3 big teams. Fortunately, it wasn't. And then since then, they've lost to Jesus Walks, drawn to Tap and Can, and lost to Rainbow. So maybe that little change in fortune has ended quite abruptly. But we'll see. They've got My Name Jeff next. Go Ahead Bugles, Bierhoffs, Dons, Loxon. They don't actually play a top 5 team until the Partridge Derby all the way over there. So chance perhaps to put a few results together. They're going to need to because, like I said, I don't know if this team is going to avoid the wooden spoon. It seems they've Rich finished second in the first sim. This is going to be an interesting one to see where he finishes in the overall competition. That's about it. I think I've kept it under. Sorry about that. I think I've kept it under 8 minutes. So that's good. And yeah, have a great day, guys, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.